What's up, guys? So let's dive right into the questions. It is the debate over real wheels versus replica wheels. We've all heard this debate, right? My stance on that: I really don't care what anybody else does with their car. I'm not going to like lose sleep over how somebody else spends their money. Whether somebody has replica wheels or not isn't necessarily something that concerns me. I personally don't purchase replica wheels, but I'm not against somebody else purchasing replica wheels if that's what they want to do. I'm like, spend your money however you want to spend your money. But because I am friends with an individual that owned a real wheel company, I got a different perspective on real wheels. When wheels are made, a company has to go through and do a lot of research and engineering to design a wheel. You can't just go, hey, I'm gonna put a spoke right here, a spoke right here, a spoke right here, and put it together in a program and now it's a wheel. That's not how it works. A lot of research and development. I know y'all heard the term R&D before. A lot of research and development that goes into making a real wheel. With that comes a lot of money. You have to come up with a design and then make sure that design can even hold up, it's structurally sound, and make sure it can be safe. Then you have to go out, get it molded. So all this money goes into making this one design, right? This one face. At that point, you spent all this money doing this. For conversation purposes, say you spent $20,000. So I spent $20,000, $30,000, whatever dollars getting this face together. You have to sell it to you for $3,000, $3,500, $4,000 on up to, whateverville. I have to sell it to you for that price to try and recoup my money that I put into designing this thing. A lot of times why these wheels cost a little bit more, and a lot of times they're forged in, a higher quality face. You spend all this money getting this, you're selling it for $3,000, and then the guy next door starts selling the exact same design, but for $500. I just took your design. So I didn't go out and do all this research and development and XYZ. I just took what you did, skipped that step. So I didn't spend $30,000 research and developing it. I've only spent maybe buying one of them, and then I've replicated it. Now I can afford to sell it to you for $500 because I didn't spend 30 grand research and developing it. All that into account makes me more a fan of supporting the original brand. That's how we continue to get quality parts, because somebody has to go out and do research to make this quality part, right? So if I give it to the replica brands, then I'm not going to continue to get high quality parts from people that go out and spend all this money on research and development. That's why I personally like to support the original branded wheels or anything of that nature. And there's a whole argument behind what makes this wheel a real wheel, and who ripped off who, and who had the design first, and this is a real wheel, but this design looks just like it. That's a whole nother discussion that I also have tons of things on. So if you guys would like me to discuss that, we can get on that too. But to start off with, I buy quote unquote real wheel. I'll leave it at that for now, so we don't spend too much time on that question. Next question: Rx7 update, S2000 update in general. So Rx7 is here behind me, right? As you can see, I've been in the middle of body work, but like I said in a couple previous videos, the engine runs. It idles a little funky right now because I've been having a little issue with my map sensor. I have a 3-bar map on this car currently. My ECU set up for this OEM 2-bar map. The 2-bar map that came on this car is in one of these boxes somewhere. So I was talking to a friend over the weekend, and he said, hey, why don't you just swap back to your 2-bar map and your OEM map and, just run that. I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to try to swap my map sensors around and see if it'll idle out. But it starts up really well. The compression's there. Starts up first try every time. So that makes me happy. I drove it 10 feet. So I put it in gear, drove it like 10 feet forward, put it in reverse, 10 feet back, and turned it off. The kit's not even on right now. It's just kind of just propped. So I got to go through and actually secure it down. I'm going to try to paint it myself. So that'll be an adventure. I don't necessarily want to talk about the color. The S2000, it got the motors for it. Like I said, it's going to be rotary, supercharged. If you have never driven an RX-8, those things are ridiculously fun to drive. They don't have tons of power. And to me, it drove a lot like an S2000. So kind of merged the two, but I'm going to supercharge it. So it's going to sound like me, brap, 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 me, brap, 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 brap. Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be dope. Another question I got is, what's the overall plan for the S2000? Is it going to be more show or is it going to be more track? I was initially planning for it to be a clean street car, but now I'm really wanting to track it, like make it a time attack car. I'm going to retain full interior. I'm going to do nice wheels. I'm going to do wide body, nice paint. It's going to be a really clean street car that I can take to the track and have fun doing time attack type things, or I can take to a show. That's the plan for the S2000. How I got into rotaries. The sound might be one of the main things why I like the motor. The way my brain is set up, I take things apart and put them back together. Like, I enjoy doing that. One day I was sitting around and I saw a YouTube video on rebuilding a rotary motor. I was just really fascinated by the simplicity of the motor. I like the engineering behind it and the fact that it was simple, not as many moving parts as other motors. I had just rebuilt my S2000 motor with a friend. He pretty much walked me through it and pretty much did it, but I was there. I saw how many moving parts were in this piston motor. Then I saw this Rx7 13B get rebuilt on some dude's kitchen table. And was like, what? He put a bunch of rubber bands in it and some like metal slits and now it's good. So I thought it was super dope. Plus the sound you can't really beat. And power to weight. Man, there's just so many good things about the rotary. As to why I'm rotary swapping an S2000. Kind of ridiculous, right? That's kind of how I got into rotaries. The one that most people want to hear about. My opinion on the car community, specifically in the last few months, is what I was asked. The community is a lot different than it was when I first got into it. When I got into the industry, it was more inviting than it is now. One of my first car meets I went to alone, by myself, didn't know anybody there, didn't know how I was gonna go, didn't know too much about cars either, didn't know much at all. I put up my plasti dipped wheels on my S2000. I pulled up, didn't know anybody, and the people, at least to my face, were inviting. They're like, hey, you know, cool, we have this group of S2000s, we meet up, we hang out, XYZ, XYZ. It was a great time. I felt like I wasn't being judged. I didn't know much. The guys I ended up meeting taught me things, like a lot of things. Some of these people end up becoming some of my best friends. They helped me out for years. I can call them up to this day. It was a great time. Never once was I felt like I was being bullied or taken advantage of. I didn't know what I was doing and didn't know, you know, the ins and outs of the scene or whatever. There were people that were popular and that everybody knew, and I wasn't one of those people, but I still felt accepted. But currently, I don't feel like that's how it goes. Currently, there's a lot of, I don't know, back then there was a lot of sharing of knowledge. Right now, I don't see much sharing of knowledge, which is something that I think we need to work on as a community. People enter the community, a lot of times they want to just learn. They don't know what's cool. They don't know what's not cool. They don't know what's a real wheel, what's a rep wheel. They just bought a set of wheels that they thought was cool. When I started, I didn't know what any of these brands are. I was just out here just living, just out here vibing. And then the community now will just kind of not necessarily shun, but they'll more point finger and laugh at you for not knowing than saying, hey, you know, let me help you learn. You know, as a whole, the community can come up. We'll see nicer cars. We won't be picking on this guy because he now knows what the good parts are. He knows, you know, you've taught him. He knows now. There's too much of that going on, first of all. There's a whole lot of hate for no reason. There's that whole respect all builds versus don't promote mediocrity type of argument. And there's a thin line on that. So for me, it's not a promote mediocrity. Everybody's building their car the way they like it, right? Tons of people that don't like my car. And that's great. That's cool. Tons of people, you're watching this video, there's tons of people that don't like your car. No matter how cool you think your car is, there's somebody out there that doesn't like it. Anyway, I like this color. A lot of people hate this color. They hate this color, they hate this kit, and rotaries are dumb. So they hate everything about my car. And then there's a population of people that absolutely love this thing. So you're gonna run into both sides of that. My whole thing is, I see a car I don't like, right? You know what I do? I keep scrolling. There's people that are beyond Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. They feel like they have to leave a comment, a negative comment. I was raised on the principle, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And that always worked well for me. What's stopping you from just keep scrolling if you see a car you don't like? Just keep scrolling, bro. Keep scrolling until you find a car that you do like, and then put a heart emoji under that, or whatever you want to put on it. Fire, flames, hands up, whatever it is, do that. Why do you need to just, let me make sure you know I don't like your car? What is that doing for anybody, You didn't do anything but hurt this guy's feelings potentially. You don't have to be like that, just, I don't like that car, cool. If you really want to be a pal, send him a message. I saw your post, I think your car could be a lot better if you did X, Y, and Z. Maybe he goes, yeah, I don't like that idea. Okay, give him a thumbs up, keep moving on in your life. Go talk to the cars that you do like. But at least you said, hey bro, I think those are reps. Here's the real version. I think your car would have a lot more credibility if you put it on these wheels. Maybe y'all can have a conversation about it, and then you will understand why he wants whatever. You know what I'm saying? That might be your best friend. I have seen a sharp decline in the positivity and a sharp decline in the quality that I see in the quote unquote scene these days. I think a lot of that is due to people not willing to help each other, I'm not saying it's all like that, but it seems like there's a lot less of that than I remember. I'm still learning. We can all still learn, but I would like it to be more of a community type thing. But I'm seeing a lot of hate these days for, I just feel like it doesn't have to be that way. It won't ever be 100% positive, but that's my opinion on the scene right now. You guys like this shirt? This Pac-Man retro shirt? Joint's gas. It's gas, I'm telling you. I also have some, new tail lights on this thing. Custom design. Gonna be gas. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me know what you guys think. If you agree or disagree with what I said about the controversial topics, real and fake wheels, real and replica wheels, the state of the car scene right now. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you guys for watching. Like I said, leave a comment. Let me know if you want me to discuss something else. You want to hear my opinion on anything else in the scene or whatever. Let me know. Leave a comment. No, like I said, this thing about to be back on the road. Back on the road, yeah.